We will call our May 18th regular meeting to order. Thank you all for coming. During our moment of silence, we're approaching Memorial Day weekend, and during our moment of silence, if you could keep in your thoughts and prayers all the young men and women that volunteer to serve and put their lives at risk for this country. I don't know anyone else that does more and risks more for so little, but we are blessed to have them all, that our lives are so regular with so much that's going on in the world, that they're on the front lines protecting us. So if we'll keep them in our prayers, we'll rise for a salute to the flag and then that moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Councilman Seeley?
Here.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Here.
Councilman Ritchie?
Here.
Council President Stolen?
Here.
Mayor Policino.
Present.
We have a set of minutes, May 4th, 2015, regular meeting.
Make a motion to remove the minutes.
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have an ordinance on second reading. This is the public hearing. Ordinance 05-2015, bond ordinance amending in part bond ordinance number 207-10, adopted on July 9, 2007, as amended by bond ordinance 2008-13, adopted on August 11, 2008, as amended by bond ordinance number 2009-18, adopted on December 21, 2009, as amended by bond ordinance number 2010-11, adopted on December 6, 2010, as amended by bond ordinance number 2012-11, adopted on August 27, 2012, providing for road improvements in the Borough of Spotswood in order to increase the allocation of the appropriation to costs permitted under New Jersey State Annotated 40A:2-20, authorized in and by the Borough of Spotswood in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
And we need a motion to open this for a public hearing?
Motion to open for a public hearing?
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes. This ordinance is allowing us to insert some additional funds to complete some punch list items on the Wyoming Avenue development road resurfacing that we've done. There's no new bonding money being added to it, however. Any questions on this ordinance? Yes, Cheryl, yep. Now's the time.
Yeah, now's the time. Cheryl Bass, 289 Main Street. It seems as though there's been a lot of amendments on this particular project. Is this because when it was first started, there were certain unknowns, and then each year it seemed to be amended? That the
That's from where the money is. Dawn, maybe you could explain that?
Actually, it talks about various roads. It wasn't specifically for Wyoming Ave, and it appears as it went along, it got dedicated to Wyoming Ave, which was, what, 3 years in the making?
It was a very large project, and things do come up that need to be amended. I mean, we usually put enough in there to cover unexpected events, but this was an extreme event, doing complete storm sewer and road and paving, so it was a major
Water
project.
main work.
Water main, absolutely.
Sanitary.
We also had an issue with AMC.
Contractor, we had unexpected contractor issues. We were in litigation with that.
like everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Absolutely.
It did.
Thank you, Cheryl. Any other questions on this ordinance?
Make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes, I make a motion we pass this ordinance on second reading and publish it according to law.
Second.
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have another ordinance on first reading. Public hearing is set for June 3rd, 2015. An ordinance of the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 143, Trees and Shrubs by adding Article 4, Tree Fund, and by amending Chapter 91, Fees, adding Article 7, Tree Fund.
I make a motion that we pass this ordinance on first reading, set a public hearing for June 3rd, and advertise it according to law.
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes.
We have resolutions under consent agenda. Council President and council members, I'll take a motion to accept the resolutions on the consent agenda, resolutions 2015-93 through 2015-98.
Make a motion to remove the resolutions.
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stolen?
Yes. We have some proclamations tonight. Ted Ritchie and I attended a very nice luncheon yesterday to honor Alice Ryan, who retired from the Cup Food Pantry and from many of the duties that she had done over there. As I said, there's people half her age that don't have nearly her energy. She has been a real powerhouse, and she will be missed. After we started the Mayor Council Community Breakfast, we dedicated the funds toward the food pantry, and that's where I met Alice. And she became proof for me that angels walk among us, because what she's done and how she's helped so many people has really been touching. So I'll read this proclamation that we did for Alice Ryan. This evidence of commendation and appreciation is hereby bestowed upon Alice Ryan for 25-plus years of dedication to public service, specifically in the area of Community of Hope Ministries, Churches United for People Food Pantry in the Borough of Spotswood. Her services have been held in high regard, and it is our wish on behalf of the Mayor and Borough Council and of all residents of this community that Alice enjoy a long and healthy retirement and receive this certificate in token of our appreciation for her many contributions to the progress of Community of Hope Ministries, Churches United for People Food Pantry. Alice Ryan was a director and participated in organized community fellowship suppers, which started as Wednesday night community fellowship suppers in 1993. Community of Hope Ministries, parent organization of CUP Food Pantry, provide community outreach referrals, Wednesday night community suppers, backyard gardens, school supply drive, and food pantry services. Whereas Alice Ryan has earned the affection of a host of area residents who are proud to call her friend, and her dedication to the best interest of the community has won high regard of all her associates. And whereas the Borough of Spotswood and residents wish to thank Alice Ryan for her dedication of service to the Community of Hope Ministries and Churches United for People Food Pantry for 25-plus wonderful years of service. Now therefore be it proclaimed that Nicholas Policino, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, and the Borough Council and residents do hereby tender to Alice Ryan this proclamation of public recognition, extending sincere best wishes on the occasion of her retirement from the Community of Hope Ministries Churches United for People Food Pantry, and wish her good health and happiness in her future endeavors. Further, we extend our sincere thanks and appreciation to Alice for her dedicated service to the Spotswood Food Pantry and the Borough of Spotswood. And very touching at the presentation of awards, they renamed the Cup Food Pantry the Alice Cup. Alice's Cup Pantry, which is a real honor. So that's what it will be known as from this day forward. And it's a true honor and testament to her dedication to the Cup Food Pantry. She's touched many lives. And actually tonight, Susan Olson is going to be stepping in and helping them take over where Alice left off. And Susan, if you could come up just a second. I know you had some things you mentioned to me at the luncheon, and I'd like you to convey them to everyone as well.
Hi, Susan Olson. I'm from South River. I fell into Spotswood Food Bank by accident. I volunteered to do the hillside pickup, and somehow it just kind of got dropped on me. Okay?
They're always looking for volunteers.
Always looking for volunteers. The Spotswood Cup, which is now known as Alice's Cup, is located at 455 Main Street in Spotswood. It is in back of the yellow building, which has a sign in front, Reformed Church Annex. We are open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. till 11:30 a.m. Then it reopens at 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. on these 3 days. This is open to Middlesex County residents. You may visit the pantry once a month. The pantry has started a diaper program for households falling below the poverty annual guidelines. You must be a Middlesex resident. The child must live with you, and you must have proof of a birth certificate. St. Peter's and Combe, 505 Main Street in Spotswood, has a dinner every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. sharp, and I mean 6 p.m. sharp. This is open to all Middlesex County residents. Alice's Cup is always looking for donations of food and volunteers. With the numbers always growing at the food bank, since the SNAP program is always being cut, we serve approximately 325 families at this time per month. That is 2 bags of food or more per month to each family. The volunteers are very important to us. Every third Tuesday of the month at 8 o'clock in the morning, Hillside Community Food Bank has a delivery. Tomorrow, April 19th, there will be a delivery of over 6,000 pounds. So if you could find it in your heart, all the residents of Middlesex County and Spotswood, and want to pay forward to your neighbor and society, volunteer at your local food bank. If it's not at Spotswood, you have East Brunswick, you have South River. As little as 2 hours a month is beneficial to other humans. You do not know if you will ever be the neighbor who may need a meal after falling on hard times. If anybody is interested in helping out Alice's Cup, you may call me at 732-257-9344. I'm out a lot, but I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Susan.
you.
And you had said that this diaper program, Spotswood, the Cup Pantry, was chosen like only
We are one of 20
one of 20.
pantries that were chosen for this diaper program. I guess Hillside is slowly building the program. I'm trying to get Similac in, but there's so many different brands now of Similacs, because when I had kids, there was one brand. But there's so many, so I try to find exactly what the people need, the size of the diapers they need. We want to go a little further with the pantry now and start with being healthy conscious for heart, for cholesterol, but it's a lot to do all at once. So we're always looking for volunteers. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Nick, you have a special proclamation to read as well?
Absolutely. In the audience tonight is Lori Ann Weiner, who this proclamation is for Lori's daughter. We have a girl that is in 6th grade, Rain Weiner in Spotswood, who has a horrible disease called Beckett.
Well, I'll call it Behçet's, but some people call it Beckett. Depends on.
Beckett's or Behçet's disease. I didn't realize how terrible and painful this disease is. So I wanted to do a special proclamation. It says, whereas the month of May is internationally Behçet's Disease Month, and May 20th is known as International Behçet's Disease Awareness Day. And whereas Behçet's disease is an extremely rare and painful chronic inflammatory disease whose cause is unknown and patients are often misdiagnosed. Whereas Behçet's disease is a debilitating disease
that causes mouth sores, rashes, joint inflammation, stomach issues, pain in the eyes, migraines, headaches, confusion, dizziness, balance issues. And whereas Behçet's disease changes day to day, and no 2 days are alike. And whereas one of our borough's young citizens, Rain Ashley Weiner, is a student of Memorial Middle School, is diagnosed with this debilitating disease. And whereas Wayne Ashley Weiner is an invisible warrior that fights the best that she can to carry on and not allow Behçet's disease to get the best of her. And whereas we encourage all citizens of the Borough of Spotswood to wear the color blue on Wednesday, May 20th, in honor of International Behçet's Disease Awareness Day and in honor of Rain Ashley Weiner. Now therefore be resolved, I, Nicholas Policino, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, and on behalf of the Borough Council and all citizens of Spotswood, do hereby proclaim May 20th, 2015 to be Rain Ashley Weiner Day. So I'd like to see as many community members as we can to wear blue that day. And if you'd like to take a picture and post it on my mayor's wall, Rain will definitely be able to see it. So I'd like to thank you, Lori Ann, for coming out tonight and give you this copy to bring home to Rain. That's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you. We will keep her in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you. And Ted, I think you have a proclamation also?
We do. National Public Works Week, May 17th through the 23rd. Whereas there would be no community without the quality of life Public Works provides, there would be no community to police and protect, no public to lead or represent. Public Works allows the world as we know it to be. The 2015 National Public Works Week theme, Community Begins Here, speaks to the essential nature of public works services in support of everyday quality of life. And whereas Mayor Nicholas Policino and the Borough Council are pleased to honor the Borough of Spotswood's Public Works Department upon the occasion of the 55th Annual National Public Works Week, which will be celebrated from May 17th through the 23rd. And whereas National Public Works Week is an appropriate time to acknowledge the importance of our borough's infrastructure and public works services, as well as to recognize the significance of public works to our quality of life. And whereas public works professionals have worked tirelessly and effectively to provide the structures and facilities that are essential to our borough and its way of life, including operating and maintaining our streets, sewers, water supply, public buildings and grounds, and solid waste collection. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Nicholas Policino, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, and on behalf of the Borough Council and all of the citizens of Spotswood, we do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th to the 23rd to be National Public Works Weeks and extend our thanks to the Borough Department of Public Works, led by Director John Meyer. We call upon all the citizens in the community to especially honor and show their sincere appreciation for the staff of Public Works of the Borough of Spotswood by deed, remark, and attitude. Dated today, signed by Mayor Nicholas Policino.
Thank you, Ted.
You're welcome.
Marge, you have one more?
Absolutely. We are very appreciative of Public Works, especially after the winter that we just had and all the water main breaks. I'm proud to announce the 41st Annual EMS Week celebration. Whereas in 1973, President Gerald Ford authorized EMS Week to celebrate EMS, its practitioners, and the important work that they do in responding to medical emergencies. Back then, EMS was a fledgling profession, and EMS practitioners were only beginning to be recognized as a critical component of emergency medicine and the public health safety net. And whereas this year's theme is EMS Strong. EMS Strong is what draws a special few together to do incredibly important work, often under difficult circumstances and many times with little thanks. And whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness and injury. And whereas it is appropriate, oh, that was repeated twice on this proclamation. Whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Services Week. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Nicholas Policino, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, and on behalf of the Borough Council and all of the citizens of Spotswood in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th through the 23rd, 2015 as Emergency Medical Services Week, and extend appreciation to all of the Borough emergency medical service workers along with EMS Director Miriam Barbaris for their conscientious emergency medical services to the residents of the Borough of Spotswood and mutual aid to other neighboring towns in our area. And as a lifelong nurse, I want to say I've seen them in action many times, also with my family members, and when you need them, it is just so good knowing that they're going to be there and that they have the training that they do. And if anyone was watching TV the other night when that train derailed in Philadelphia, it was riveting to watch the live coverage of those EMS workers going in and around those cars looking for people to save and administering first aid to those people that were injured. So that just reaffirms that the importance of this week. And if you happen to have to call them for something, I hope you don't, but if you do, they will be there, and please say thank you, because it is a tough job to deal with what they deal with. And I just want to extend my thanks and extend my thanks to the troops.
I just want to recognize that our director, Miriam, is sitting in the audience.
Ah,
right over there.
Miriam, nice.
Yes.
Thank you very much to you, to all of the people that work with you. We really appreciate your service.
Thank you. Okay, Mark, you want to go ahead if you have anything for the regular meeting?
No,
No? Okay.
thank you.
All right, Ted?
I want to go over a couple things. The Michael Road project, thanks to DPW, the council, and the BA for supporting recommendations to resurface Michael Road. DPW did a nice job repainting the court. We're talking to the Boy Scouts about a potential legal project there to further rehabilitate that park. We have the fishing derby coming up next Saturday for children between 3 and 14 at Devoe Lake from 8 to 10 in the morning. There will be prizes awarded, so bring your pole and come fish. And the Reeder Road project, the park project. I want to remind everybody to go on Facebook, either on Borough blog or Spotswood Rec or any of those pages. We are trying to get a grant for $25,000 to help rehabilitate the park. Presently, we're somewhere between 6th and 8th place out of 20 for the...
Out of 200.
200.
Out of 200.
Out of 200.
For that $25,000 share of money. Every time you vote, for those of you that want to, you can vote every day. There's a little box there that allows you, if you click it, to vote 10 times in the same day. By all means, Chicago-style voting, vote early, vote often. And let's see if we can't, stay inside that top 20 and get that $25,000. There's going to be another movie night and a car show coming up for Rec in a couple of weeks. And just keep an eye on Spotswood Rec's page. That's it.
Thanks, Ted. Ed,
Nothing.
you want to talk about the parade?
Parade, I just talked about the parade. I'll talk about the parade again. Parade starts at, lineup starts over here at the high school at 1 o'clock. It will be kicking off at 2 o'clock. Our Grand Marshal this year is Thomas Prenderville, as Mrs. Dunn had brought up. He's a Vietnam vet. He's also a member of the Post for some 40-some years now. Pretty much every organization's gotten back to me. I've got the help from Mr. Zamborni as well. I see he's in the audience with the PA system and stage. He's always helpful there. And let's see, hot dogs and refreshments at the post after the parade as usual. There's actually, this year, the band will be staying at the parade a little longer, one of the marching bands, and they'll be playing for like a half hour of different patriotic rendition songs. So, with that, what else? And this year we added our, I'm not going to steal anybody's parade, because I think maybe the mayor might be talking about this, but we added our police memorial to our list as well this year,
Nice.
our new police memorial. And let's see,
Do you need judges?
do I need judges?
Are we judging?
You're judging. You're judging, I'm walking. And the fire department's always kicked in there with me because they make sure the place is spiffy and clean and ready for the public. I would ask that, Mr. Mayor, if I could, that we bring out Sasquatch, our sweeper, and get her to do the parade route this year before the parade, if we could, on Friday.
Is that what she's called?
Yeah, Sasquatch is something you see, you know it's there, but you don't see it very often. We don't have the manpower, that's really why. But other than that, any questions on the parade?
You do a great job.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's just year number 3,000.
a lot of
There is one little bit of news which I'll be tossing back and forth with the fire department as well as some other agencies that have discussed interest. Next year the parade may be moving to the weekend before Memorial Day. And the reason being would be attendance, because most people plan to go away on Memorial Day weekend. We lose an awful lot of residents to that, whether it be camping. The mayor himself has young children in sports, and it's a big soccer weekend. Oh my God.
This whole weekend coming up with soccer.
It's a very big weekend. So
Memorial Day weekend.
in the interest of
Sports.
cost as well, does it cost less for bands and easier to get? We may be moving a week ahead of time and just save Memorial Day for the Veterans Memorial Services. Okay, and that's all I've got.
Thank you, Ed. That was good. The only thing I have is we have a vacant seat here, and at our next meeting, we'll be interviewing candidates. We have received 5 resumes, and we have some very difficult decisions to make to pick one of them, and that's what we'll be doing during our caucus of our next meeting. And that's all I have. I'll turn it over, Mr. Mayor.
Sure, Council President, thank you. A couple things, I'd like to reiterate what Councilman Ritchie spoke about. The State Farm grant that we put in for, you can vote daily, like you said, up until June 3rd. There was thousands of applications received. State Farm picked the top 200 applications that they believed were the best. And now it's up to the residents to vote. The top 40 will receive $25,000 towards their project. Spotswood has been, since day one, from 6th place to as high as 10th. We're currently in 6th. We'd like to stay that way so we are comfortable. I thank myself, Dawn, and everyone that worked to get this grant put together for our park. Tomorrow is the Emergency Services Breakfast at the Office on Aging. I believe it starts 8 or 8:30. You had to sign up in advance.
9.
9, thank you.
There's 2 seatings, one at 9 and one at 10.
10, right.
That's how popular the event is.
This is an event that the Emergency Services started probably about 5 years ago at least, where your police, fire, and EMS would serve the seniors breakfast to basically let the seniors end up getting to know their EMS, fire, and police. So if there ever is some type of emergency that they're not seeing them for the first time, they get to talk to them and realize that they're human beings and they're natural. So it's a great breakfast that goes on. It is jam-packed every single year we have it. You might have noticed the new stone, black stone outside the, looking at the building, the left side. Eagle Scout Tim Janis, last Wednesday on the 13th, we had the police dedication memorial. It was a very touching and moving event. The police department was the only emergency service in Spotswood that did not have any kind of memorial to end up honoring their fallen brothers. So all the current names are on that list. And it was a big doing by Detective Hoover and Chief Zarro, Dawn, John Mayer, working to get this project done. But it really came out beautiful. If you haven't seen it, please take a look at it on the way out. As I read the proclamation, Wednesday is National Bachettes Day. If you can, please wear blue for rain. It'll be greatly appreciated. And lastly, Memorial Day Parade. Can I talk about that? Okay. Memorial Day Parade. Last year, last March, the Spotswood Fire Department had its first line of duty death. Firefighter Joe Bove responded to the call. About 2 hours later, he ended up collapsing in his shower and dying of a heart attack. It's been a very tough year for the Spotswood Fire Department dealing with that loss. Councilman Seeley was a help with us with getting the street renamed. Main Street is also going to be renamed Joe Bove Way. Memorial Day in front of the grandstand at Kearney Bank, we plan on having the Joe Bove Memorial sign attached and covered, and when the fire department arrives to that location, there'll be a small presentation to the family, to the Bove family, and the sign will now be there forever on a couple blocks. And if Barry Angstrom has anything further to add later, you're more than welcome to, sir. Thank you.
That'll be the key spot right there.
All right, that's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Dawn, anything?
Well, Ted and the mayor hit the high points with the grant. That was going to be my number one announcement. I just want to add into that Spotswood Recreation Committee has been heavily publicizing this. They're really doing a great job and have pitched in quite a bit getting the word out. Second of all, we had requested a structural engineering evaluation for the old EMS building on DeVoe, and we should have those results and the full report within the next week or two. At last week's George Street Water Treatment Plant workshop meeting, it was suggested that we have someone take a look at George Street also for structural possible issues. The architect from the EMS building has agreed to stop by and take a quick look at George Street as well. He's going to do so this Friday. Second of all, I was able to submit a reimbursement request for FEMA for $72,000 for lease payments for temporary housing for our EMS facility. That's from May 2013 to April 2015. They have agreed to write a separate project and allow us to put in for reimbursement above and beyond the regular building project.
Very good.
Very good.
Thank you, Dawn.
You're welcome. That's it.
Okay. If nothing else, we can open to the public.
Motion to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. General open public portion. Any comments or questions? We welcome them now. You just have to come up, state your name and address for the record. Good evening, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne Hamilton, 22 Gordon Avenue. I'm here to talk a little bit about Crescent Avenue. This is not a new subject for the mayor and Dawn, but since last year's winter, the road has taken a horrible beating. It is by far, bar none, the worst road in the community. Granted, it is a shared municipal roadway between East Brunswick and Spotswood, but I'm afraid if we just keep kicking it down the road, the road is absolutely in horrendous condition now. You literally bounce from patched pothole every step of the way along Crescent Avenue, and I don't see it lasting, so it's something I think that needs to be on everybody's radar to step it up in terms of a priority project. I know we've got to work with East Brunswick because it's a shared funding responsibility, but I don't think we can really wait anymore. I was concerned it was going to make it to this winter. We had an equally as harsh winter, which only exacerbates it. And what's going to happen, the first time we have a freeze and thaw in the next winter, all those potholes are going to, all the patches are going to come flying out of those potholes. And it's literally reached a point where the road needs reconstruction, and it needs it badly. So I'm here just to make that case and just put my comments on the record that it's something that needs to be addressed.
We talked about this last meeting, and it's so sad. I mean, we were so happy that road finally was redone, and what did it last, 3 years maybe at the most? It's terribly sad. But that's the problem. The side that's really bad is East Brunswick side. So
I mean, obviously, there's drainage issues there, Kurt, that are really contributing to it. There
Right.
really is no drainage along the sides of the roadway to capture some of that water. It gets underneath, and it just
Blows it up.
It really causes a great problem. But the reality of it is, it's a heavily traveled artery. I mean, it is probably, one of the top 5 collector roads in the
Yes.
municipality, and it really needs to be addressed. I don't think we can, this needs to be stepped up, and I guess as most of the residents that live along there, we're using it multiple times a day, and our suspensions, you can feel your whole car shaking going down the road. And how much longer can you put up with that? It's really reached a point where I think everybody collectively needs to address it.
We've talked about this, and have we done anything to reach out to East Brunswick for?
I sent a copy of the agreements, the interlocal agreements, to their business administrator probably about a month ago. In response, he sent out their public works crew to patch the potholes that same day. We've also had Bruce look at it, and he thinks it's a candidate for a mill and pave. I did reach out to their administrator again last week, asking him if he had a chance to review the agreements and suggesting that perhaps we could look at a mill and pave. So I'm waiting for his response.
Is it East Brunswick's responsibility to mill and pave both sides of the road, or are they just doing their half?
They only do pothole repair according to the agreement. Anything beyond that would be shared between the two towns.
So they'll do potholes on our side, but not pave on our side.
Could county get in with the paving? Could we get county, because I know we discussed
county
that
road.
when it was first brought
It's not a
up.
county road.
Not county road, but you could do an interlocal.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
the
mean,
bad side is East Brunswick side.
Yeah, the worst side is the East Brunswick
Yeah.
side, but I have to be candid with you, the Spotswood side is starting to show tremendous signs of wear and tear as
Creeping
well.
over.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna, like I said, we go through this one more winter, and you're gonna really have a major mess in your hands. And
There's
it won't be
even
just me standing out here, you'll have an army of people here.
There's even a catch basin that's falling in, that's had cones around it. Our Public Works Department has it on their schedule. They're going to try to rebuild that catch basin
Is
themselves.
that on our side?
No, it's on the
No,
East
it's on East
Brunswick.
Brunswick.
Yeah. But all the drainage is us.
Oh, all the drainage is us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne.
Anything else tonight? Yes. Good evening.
I'm Lori Ann Weiner. I'm Rain's mom. I just wanted to say, when we were looking to buy a house years ago, about 9 years ago, when I came to the house in Spotswood, I opened the door and just felt like I was home. Never understood why. My house is tiny. We're crammed in it, but just felt like it was home. And I believe that God had placed us here because He knew what lied ahead for us, and I did not know what the future held. And He has placed us in a community that has been so supportive and so wonderful. Neighbors and friends and the school system, everybody has pulled together to help me raise not only my daughter Rain that's sick, but all 3 of my children, because without the support, when Rain doesn't feel good, I have people that pick up my kids, people that drop off my kids, and I know I have neighbors, an arm's length if I need help. It's just been tremendous, and I'm just very appreciative of the support and the wonderful people in this town. And I thank Mayor Policino and all of you for recognizing Bichette's, even though it's so extremely rare and nobody has really ever heard of it, and to have lived with it for so long and not known for so long what it was, going from doctor to doctor and different diagnoses, and even to the point where I take her to Robert Wood Johnson Hospital in a flare, they Google what Bichette's is in front of me. They've never even seen somebody with it. So just to have my town support us like a family and lift us up like this is really special. And Rain was not well today, so she couldn't be here, but it really put a huge smile on her face to hear that everybody was going to support her and that she had her own day. She thought that was really pretty cool. So we thank you, and I just pray that she's able to get to school that day so that she can see. She's actually mostly home instructed. So hopefully she can get there and she can see everybody and be part of it as well. So thank you.
Well, thank
you for coming out.
Thank you for your kind words. Our heart goes out to you and your family. And as I've always said, I don't know if it's the small town that does it, but we have so many individuals that make this such a special place. And this may be a rare disease, but once one member of our community has it, it affects all of us, and
And that pretty much has been how I felt. I mean, every time we had do a fundraiser, or I have, friends that help me with the school, they say, well, she's ours, it's one of ours. And that's just really nice to know that I don't feel so pressured and alone, that I know that if I need help or I need something done, everybody is so willing to just step up and help. So it's wonderful. It's a family. So.
I just want to say, I've been in nursing 35 years. I turned to him and I said, I don't know what this is. I've never heard of it. Is it one of the orphan diseases that they call them?
It's, and I don't know what an orphan disease is. It's
One of those really rare.
It is very rare. It's an autoimmune disease, an inflammatory disease of the vascular system. So anywhere that you have vessels and arteries is anywhere that could be affected. So they explain as like lupus, Crohn's, and MS all together in one disease. So she can get any symptom from any one of those diseases at any time in a flare and in combination. So, and my daughter in particular, happens to have more of a neurological component of it, so a lot of her symptoms are neurologically based, so she'll lose her fine motor coordination, gross motor coordination, speech, she has short-term memory loss. But then, again, when she's not in a flare, you can see her running out and playing in the sprinkler, and she looks fine. That's why it's an invisible disease. It's so hard, even for the doctors, to know what it is and even to diagnose her, because to look at her, she looks absolutely fine until that flare, and she gets, but the problem is that she's been getting flares like 2-3 times a week, so every time she gets over one, she's got another one hitting her before she can even get up. So.
Well, you've educated a lot of people today.
Thank you. I hope to keep educating people everywhere, get some research and just notoriety for the disease.
Thank you for sharing.
thank you, yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else tonight? Yes, Cheryl.
Yes, I am not a person on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account, but I would be one to spread the word. Do you have to go in on this Reeder Road Park project and state why you're in favor of it? What would,
You just vote on it.
you just vote on
Once a day
it?
you're allowed to vote, click on the vote, click the little box, you'll get 10 votes.
Okay, okay. I would be one to spread the word.
Thank you.
And on the ordinance 06-2015, the tree fund, there had been talk with some of the trees that the branches were wrapping around the public wires, the utility wires, that the utility was going to trim the trees and take away the branches that were interfering with the
That happens on a
wires.
regular basis.
Are they going to be paying any part of this cost with the trees?
No, they don't take trees down either. But this is strictly for developers. If we have any other properties developed in town where a lot of trees have to come down, if they couldn't incorporate those trees into the new development, they would just be gone. Well, now they'd have to contribute to a fund which would allow us to start replanting trees throughout the community. So it helps us make the town more green, be healthier, create more oxygen. It's a good thing, and it doesn't affect homeowners, it's just for developers.
Oh, okay. That you mention oxygen. I know that the trees take in carbon dioxide. There's a book, the man who wrote it, he was in his 80s when he wrote it, and before it got published, he passed away, but it's that the world needs more carbon dioxide, and that would help the trees to grow, because they take in the carbon dioxide and they release the oxygen. So that's just a passing comment, With Resolution 2015-95 about Red Bank Road, Cottage Street, this is $7.5 million. Would the state be giving us a grant, a USDA loan.
Well, let me let
Yeah.
Ed Seeley actually
Yeah.
discovered this loan. I got to give him credit for that. This was a tremendous opportunity, and if you're going to speak on that a little bit?
Sure, briefly, to what I know. It's a grant that's given out by the USDA, a loan grant. In other words, it's a time grant. It would grant us, let's say, somewhere like, correct me if I'm wrong, Bruce, but like 80,000 towards a water tower, something like that they did for someone else. And they got a loan for 40 years for the rest of the money. 40 years at a low interest rate, which can be refinanced after 20. So what it does is take projects like this, water tower combined with the Red Bank area, which is an area just like Crescent, which is like a bombshell, and give us time to pay it off at less interest and a less impact on the taxpayer.
Okay, that's very helpful.
And includes part of a grant, so they
Yes, part of the
actually
grant.
forgive some of the loan as you go
Some of the
along.
loan.
That's even better.
Not guaranteed, but it's happened.
Yes, thank you for discovering that. That's,
accidental.
a taxpayer appreciates that. A taxpayer appreciates that one. And you were talking about volunteers. I had seen on Tap Into, the alternative press that they have just on the internet, that the freeholders were looking to go to the state to get money to look to get volunteers for the fire department, for all of the other departments, all that we talk about with volunteers. And as a taxpayer, I know that the freeholders are with a very large budget. Right here in Middlesex County, we have our own freeholders. They're familiar with all of these programs, and they should use their budget to try to strengthen in the various communities the training, and for CUP, for Alice's CUP, that they don't need to go to the state. Right here in the local community, that the volunteers should be promoted by the freeholders. I know that they always come for different various projects. This should be part of their budget. And I just want to say, I'm not in the newspaper business, but it was very nice for the Sentinel to give coverage to Tim Janis with the police memorial, but being part of the drive-by media, they put him on page 20. And because they publish on Thursday, they did the story in advance so that they could publish before the deadline, and they really skipped the major part of the dedication. This was a marvelous dedication. I thank the council, I thank the mayor, and the police department. There were not enough seats, and standing room only, and it was a marvelous dedication. My comment is the Sentinel should come back again, put this on page 1, and really tell what happened, and say because of publishing deadlines, we were not able to capture the full essence of this dedication. But it was a marvelous thing, and I would put it on page 1, not page 20.
Thank you, Sharon. All we did that night was show up, but there was a lot of work done by Tim, the scouts, Zarro, and the officers,
Scott
Hoover, and they really deserve our thanks. They've created something that really adds to our municipal complex, and it's really a great thing to have here.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's in today's paper. It's in the home news today.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And Jerry, we have Jerry from JCP&L. Did you have anything you wanted to bring to our attention tonight, or?
No, I just was here to say hi to everybody. I haven't seen the mayor for a while, so I was going to stop by and say hi to him after the meeting, but I think everything's going pretty good. The weather is staying a lot west of us, so it's not really impacting us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
If there's no other questions tonight?
Motion to close.
Yeah. I was just wondering, Richard Skelly, 166 Manalapan Road. What, does anybody know about the status of the Cambridge Inn MJ's Pizza conversion? What's holding up the process? I assume it's not anybody in Spotswood. I assume it has to do with the owners or the state law or what?
The owners just still have a lot of work to do.
Oh,
They are projecting the second week in June now to open up.
because I know I saw you there in November on a Saturday night, right on this Cambridge Inn, and then,
Ended up totally taking out the bar, redoing the bar, putting in some type of false brick look in the restaurant also. It's really going to turn out to be a phenomenal place.
so.
They are still posting on, hoping for June, the second weekend to open up as of now.
Oh, a month from now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
And
I
all the
didn't,
work there.
I didn't know, yeah.
It's going to be a great addition to the town. We're all looking forward to that opening.
If you are on Facebook, go to MJ's Spotswood, and you can follow them and see all the photos of the current phases.
I see, okay.
And we had those two the physicians move in on Main Street too,
Yes.
into that one building. So
Yes.
that's just great.
Are they open?
I saw the sign. I haven't accessed them.
I haven't been in there yet either, but
Yeah.
I do see that it is open,
Yeah.
which is
Are they
positive
going to
news.
fix the parking lot at the restaurant because they have such
They
bumps
took the
over
one
there?
half of one thing out I saw the other day. I
I
went
don't
down.
think it was taken out. I think it
It just
came
broke.
out with the plows.
Oh, did it?
But
Okay.
I believe they are going to be doing some work to the parking lot.
And they may be in the parade as well.
Very good. Well, we wish them the best and hope they're open
That's
soon.
right.
Entertain a motion?
Motion to close the public portion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We do have a closed session. I'll read the closed session resolution. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the Borough of Spotswood, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey as follows. 1, the public shall be excluded from discussion of any action upon the hereinafter specified subject matters. 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows: contract negotiations. 3, it is anticipated at this time the above stated subject matter shall be made public when confidentiality is no longer required. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Make a motion, we pass the resolution?
Second.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Stoll?
Yes. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We're going to have a closed session. You're welcome to wait in the foyer, and
Staying for closed session.
thank you again for coming out.